Welcome to Game Hill Zone. I'm Mike Hardage, and this is the review of the AtGames SEGA Genesis controller. Also, there's Altered Beast in the background, which may or may not be a spoiler warning for tomorrow's video. So here's the controller itself. It's a basic 6-button fighting controller. The only major differences that you can see from the outside is that it's got the battery compartment now, which I actually used to have the cover on, which I lost because, people my age are prone to losing things. Anyone from their teens younger are prone to losing things and backs and covers to toys and game consoles. And it's wireless, the whole IR sensor, and then it's got the menu button. And it's got the little LED that glows every time you press a button. But anyways, you got your D-pad here, menu button, which takes you back, to the menu. That lets you select your games on the AtGames SEGA Genesis. Start button, A, B, C, and since it is a 6-button fighting controller, you get your X, Y, and Z. Having no past experience with a SEGA Genesis, I can't really compare this to any of the other Genesis controllers, such as the Model 1, 2, 3, or CDX. However, it is a fairly good gamepad. I find that it's a little smaller than what I've seen before. And also, like I said, the wireless is really annoying the whole way that the IR sensors work, so not too dissimilar to the Wii. That in the sense you have to have the remote directly in front of the IR sensor on the Genesis, or else it doesn't work and your character stops moving. Maybe he doesn't jump, kick, punch, whatever at the right time, and that could cost you a life in some games, like Altered Beast. However, this isn't an AtGames Genesis fault alone. It's just IR sensor, just the way they designed it. It's not a good design at all. Despite sometimes the connection getting a little loose or perhaps being interrupted completely, it's still fairly accurate, very precise. So if you're trying to do jump in Sonic the Hedgehog, you can still make that jump. If you're trying to make a precise kick in Altered Beast, you can still do that. Not that you'll see a precise kick or precise jump here, because I'm awful at this game. It's time to use that menu button. What the? Oh, there we go. I don't even know anymore. Golden Axe. Alright, so I'm gonna play one more game. And it's gonna be Sonic the Hedgehog. Of course, I also know Sonic the Hedgehog, as I've played it forever. It's probably the only Sonic the Hedgehog game I'm really familiar with to any sort of decent degree whatsoever, which is why I'm kind of decent at it in this gameplay. Actually, I'm better playing on the Nintendo 3DS or Nintendo DSi, which is actually how I started playing it. But then I got this, and it doesn't run too differently, which doesn't really have much to do with the controller, but, in case you're looking to get one of these AtGames Genesis consoles, which I am doing a review of sometime in the future, it's not a bad idea. You're probably going to hear a lot of things about the controller, and yeah, it's not perfect, but you know, what is these days? Uh-oh, uh-oh. Whatever. I don't even know how to play that part. Got a Sonic. Alright. Oh, here we go. Because of the similarities between the AtGames Genesis and the Atari Flashback 4, the IR sensor anyway, you can actually use a Genesis controller on the Atari Flashback 4, similar to how you could do that with the original consoles and the wired controllers, which also works. And that's the AtGames SEGA Genesis controller. Not great, not terrible, but it's got some pretty cool tricks up its sleeve. See you next time.